Hello, hello, beautiful people of the internet. Hello, Mastomaticus, Shrek Militaire 2018, Cool Doge, Broad Metal Look 2, and Red Shirt 11. Slay the Spire 2, we have returned. There's a new fancy patch that exists. It's out on the beta branch. It is apparently controversial. I'm not even gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole, except to say, I think the changes look great. That's my analysis. But I haven't played them. But glance value, I agree with pretty much every single thing. And the only things I disagree with are very minor and probably different from what is apparently the majority opinion. Though I have learned since reading the discourse on Reddit regarding Snakebite, and then whatever that stupid replay shivs card is, that Reddit has no idea what makes Slay the Spire 1 such a good game, and people are coming into 2 not knowing what the hell they're talking about, to be quite honest. But that's just my grumpy old man soapbox opinion as someone who is a firm lover of Spire 1 from its early days. So I'm gonna play the beta patch after I just see how long in the current patch I can do my random win streak before it splats, and then I'm gonna play the new patch. So these are all random, despite the fact that I got the Necrobinder every single time. So I got a current streak of 3 going, and we're just gonna see how long that goes until we splat. The door maker is probably a lot harder, definitely. And here's what I like about it. All right, you know what isn't good for the game? This. I want a strategy game. I don't want to solve a riddle, puzzle something out, and then simply win, right? There's a reason why I like certain games and dislike other games. And they may have a similar veneer, but Project Triangle Strategy and Battle Brothers are as far from each other as I can imagine. Anyway, so I'm going to do random, and we're going to see what happens. The Silent. So this will be my last opportunity to enjoy a few cards in their old form. The big one being, oh, where are you, my beloved? Prepared, which is going to be changed. And I think this will have impacts on all the rest of the card pool and the valuation. So I'm very excited to see how that plays out. That's probably the big one. That's probably the biggest one. Okay, so we got Overgrowth here. And I'm liking the look of this path. May be able to take an elite if we've got still plenty of hit points. Decent time for a shop. If we're strong enough, we can hit up another elite and shop. If not, maybe go that way. Or could potentially even do shop then elite if we feel like we've expended all potions. It's another totally reasonable option. Yeah, killing infinites is a good thing, right? I mean, I think it's, don't get me wrong, if the implementation of Doormaker changes in what they currently have in the beta branch, like, sure, fine. But the game needs something like Doormaker. And I've gone on this rant before, right? It doesn't have to be exactly like Doormaker. Maybe they end up scrapping that design. Maybe they end up thinking it's great. I don't know. But the game needs something like Beat a Death, Time Eater, you know, Woke Bloke, the new Doormaker. It needs something alongside the other changes to nuke infinites, right? A lot of the card changes also make it harder to get infinites. There's going to be a lower number of question mark nodes in the next patch as well. And I think that will make it so that there are fewer card remove events, which will also make it harder to achieve infinites. All good changes. Like literally almost everything in the beta branch is awesome. So I'm looking forward to playing it. Giving a player a low win rate for chasing infinites is a great approach too. Yeah, basically. Exactly. Right? Okay, so these are pretty not exciting options. I'm okay with grabbing greed for a bunch of money, since we're gonna hit up this shop before an elite anyway. It's okay. Could also just go with a random relic. That's not very exciting. Or even 11 HP. Hit points are nice. I don't know that I've actually even taken this option yet. Okay, upgraded attacks deal 3 additional damage. That's kind of cool. Gives us a little bit of a direction for how we approach the beginning here. So we're going to be looking to, for example, upgrade neutralize at our first campfire. And let's see. So we still need to hit him with 4 strikes total. I think we just take 1. Okay. Didn't need to take that point of damage, but that's fine. Piercing Whale and Expose are both here. I like both of these cards. Slice is also fine. KMMID, hello, hello. I maybe barely have a preference for Piercing Whale. Is this beta yet? Not yet. Not yet. What is different from the Doormaker? Doormaker is going to eat every 10 cards you draw and gain strength and suck up that card. So, sounds interesting. I'm looking forward to giving it a shot. I'm going to currently... That's what I put that exclamation mark command. I'm going to keep playing the current version for the moment until I see how far the current streak goes until it splats. Just to see how far I can push it. With my understanding of the current game as it is, then I'm going to hop it over to the beta branch, which will be how things will look in the future. Anyway, I think this is a genuinely pretty interesting decision. I think I'm barely going to lean towards Expose. Interestingly enough, I think this is a pretty good card for a deck that wants to go for poison as well. Just getting rid of the artifact and block. Artifact in the case of poison, but... I read they want to counter the infinite mana, which is nice. 100% agreed. Absolutely agreed. I think it's great. Like, honestly. I think the patch notes, the way I read them is like, everything sounds not only reasonable, but great. Right? I think I'm going to go ahead and grab Calculated Gamble. Untouchable is one of the cards that's going to be nerfed in the beta branch. I think it goes from 9 to 7 block, if I recall correctly from the patch notes, and I don't remember what the value is upgraded. Yeah, Slate Spire is a really smart design team. Agreed. What does Peck do when it's upgraded? I'm curious. Okay, so it does do it an additional time. Interesting. So one not unreasonable option, honestly, if upgraded attacks deal 3 additional damage, and this goes from deal 2 damage 4 times to deal 5 damage 4 times for 1 mana, that's a pretty high value card, right? The Chaucer, hello, hello. Infinite should be a combination of insane lucky rare card and relics, not a few commons and uncommons, and that's it. Absolutely, agreed. Having a super multi-attack card is nice for enchants and effects that add damage to attacks. They feel pretty common now. That's true too, right? So I think in addition to the miniature cannon and the fact that we've got this expose and the fact that the upgrade gives it an additional attack, I've never taken this option. And even though I said I'm trying to like push the streak number. I'm also still just exploring different design space too. Like, you know. I'm going to try transforming a starter card into a Peck. And let's go with a strike. Could be interesting. I think it'll be good if it's upgraded, right? All right, we'll take some gold. Upgrade our Peck. Good with Envenom? Yeah, could be good with Envenom as well. Absolutely. And I guess let's... Got a thought. Let's see if it turns out. Right, so this will do 5 damage 4 times. So we can't quite kill both, but we don't need to play the strike. Yeah, we'll do Peck. Yeah. Cool. Okay, not a big fan of any of these options. I kind of think, and we'll see if this ends up true in the beta branch, but I kind of feel like shivs are a somewhat undeveloped damage type, like they're not super good. I'm almost more interested in Phantom Blades than accuracy. I'm not really sure. I've not actually even ever taken this card. Yeah, I've never taken it. I don't think. Shiv's gaining retain can low-key be a nice benefit for calculated gamble. Right, because you might need to draw into something specific, and just having more stuff in your deck means more cards that you draw with calculated gamble. Right now we get no benefit from any of these. Literally not applying any damage and not doing anything with shivs. Yeah, I think I like Phantom Blades better than accuracy in any case. I'm gonna try it. This will be a run of firsts, I guess. All right, so if we find our Peck, we can actually just straight up kill one completely if they're exposed, right? So the first hit will drain the Slippery, and then the next 3 hits will just kill from our miniature cannon. So I could be convinced to do Expose and then do a Neutralize like here. And then 2 strikes will kill this one, and the Peck will kill this one. We'll just see what we draw. Okay, that's also fine. Yeah, Peck pretty handy here. If only we were facing a Phantom, right? Then Peck would be good in that fight too. Okay, Noxious Fume's still good. Don't be confused. Noxious Fumes, still a good card. Still plays into the way Silent probably wants to rock and roll. And if we get up no value from Phantom Blades, that's fine. Even if we get like a tiny bit of value from Phantom Blades, that's totally fine. Even if all we do is use Peck and Phantom Blades as front-loaded damage, and then a poison strategy for, you know, long-term boss killing, all that can coexist very happily. Untouchable is, of course, a great card. I'm not sure if I'd rather have Noxious Fumes or Untouchable. It might just be Untouchable. Pretty nice with a calculated gamble and the way the deck plays right now. I think Noxious Fumes is definitely the best card in this screen, but I'm going to grab Untouchable because I think it's actually kind of what the deck needs. There are more effects that reward multi-attacking and fewer that punish it compared to Slay the Spire 1. Yeah. Is that true? I mean, that's definitely, the B-Man is a great example, but is that... How many enemies in Spire 1 were like that? I get the feeling you would have been offered a Shiv card if you took Outbreak in the last reward. Spiker comes to mind. Oh, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose Spiker, but the enemies with spikes, like in Act 3, weren't really that threatening. Maybe they could have been, but... I plan on the new patch? Not quite yet. Not quite yet. I'm gonna run the current streak until it dies, and then I'm gonna play the new patch. So I might grab Footwork. I still think Footwork is a great card. Footwork will make the number from Sly higher. I could kind of be convinced to grab Shockwave, but I don't think we need it. I think we've got ways of making enemies weak and vulnerable that I think are valuable. I could grab Hidden Daggers. I think that's okay, given the existence of the Phantom Blades. And then we can grab more Sly cards that also lets Untouchable gain value. I think I'll probably just grab the Footwork, though. And could consider buying Poison Stab. Yeah, no Phantom Boss. Exactly. It's just the kin. I think I'll probably pass on that. Pantograph. That's really nice. All right, so Calculated Gamble looking pretty good here. I might make him vulnerable, then Peck. And probably the Peck and Neutralize, and then play the Calc Gamble. Hopefully find more damage. That's a lot of damage, though, to start. Honestly, maybe I don't even play the Calculated Gamble. Maybe I just strike Survivor. It's probably fine. I just kind of wanted to get the next Peck played by getting through the deck faster, but I suppose we'll get there eventually. Could maybe even be convinced to do the Swift Pot. Right, because the Peck do a lot of damage. It's all the way up to 7 by 4 when they're vulnerable. And we're going to be able to play the Expose again. But I think I'll just do like this. Peck, Peck, Peck. You're exposed, sir! Alright, so we do this for sure, and should be able to kill him with our Peck. Counter-Pecked. Got him. So we took Niao Large Capsule. How did we get Phantom Blades? We were offered Phantom Blades, Accuracy, and... Actually, we can look, right? Can't we see? Yeah, Outbreak. And I figured, realistically, with the Vulnerable that we've got in the deck, the fact that we got the Miniature Cannon, the fact that there are some cards that will upgrade Shivs, I was like, screw it. Let's try the Phantom Blades. I've never taken that card. I don't think it's very good. So, I would take another Calculated Gamble, though. So maybe go this way, rest, and then fight another Elite, or possibly this way, rest and fight another Elite. We have 105 gold. Let's go this way, rest. You've taken it, can confirm it's not good? Well, I actually think just Shivs in general are kind of not fantastic at the moment. Okay, I'm gonna do Footwork, Calculated Gamble. Kind of thinking about just doing a Calculated Gamble, but do it like that. Well. We have to keep in mind we've got our pocket watch. And I think it's worth taking 1 damage to draw extra cards. And let's calculate a gamble to find the Peck. We'll also get Survivor for Untouchable. Does the card that draws with Sly still exist? Yes. Yeah, of course we want those. For sure. Footwork, my beloved. After image. Even leading strike? Ugh. I've done a ton of damage with Speedster in past runs. Speedster's been an MVP of mine with calculated gambles and other draw related cards. Yeah, Speedster's a reasonable choice. I'm not sure between Speedster and After Image. It's nice to have some AoE. Just in general. Yeah, Peck is our entire damage, which is actually quite good for the moment, right? I'm gonna go with Speedster. It's a pretty good card. Speaking of AoE, let's go Finesse, Footwork, Speedster, and pass the turn. I'm not going to play this calculated gamble. We're going to let Pocket Watch draw us more cards for next turn. I want to keep that in the hand because, well, we might need it. And here we'll shuffle, and we'll shuffle at an okay time. Play 3 strikes. We'll let him put more junk in our deck. Again, I'm gonna leave those calculated gambles. All right, so this will be great. We're gonna play the Peck, then we're gonna calculate a gamble, and blast these fools. Plop, 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 plop. And then let's Survivor an Infection and draw extra with the Pocket Watch. Because all we need to do is find our other calculated gamble that we left in the deck. Bye, nerds. All right, have a colorless pot. Lucky Fish is here. Accuracy, leg sweep, pounce. Leg sweep is always good. Nothing wrong with leg sweep. Pretty happy to add a leg sweep to the deck. Totally fine. Another source of weak, I think, is good. Yeah, more powers to make our shivs better. All those shivs. And I actually might want the colorless pot instead of the speed potion, and probably play the colorless pot in the fight against the kin. Might not even need to, though, honestly, with the pantograph. Probably don't need to. But I'm gonna grab it anyway, and let's actually do a combat instead of campfire. And I'm gonna play just those 3, so we can draw more with Pocket Watch. Leave an energy on the table. Yeah, this will just be better. So let's expose, and then if we calculate a gamble... If we speedster calculate a gamble, we'll draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that'll do 20, and then this will do 28. Play the neutralize as well. Could get down to 5 cards, that way when we play the pack we can redraw it. That might be kind of nice. So if I'm going to play down to that number of cards, could just simply do... Well, I guess I can't play leg sweep if I want to get down to 5 cards. I'd have to play like footwork defend. I don't think I want to do that either. Leg sweep is all the block we need. Could just play leg sweep, calculated gamble, and then pack, neutralize. We're already going to go over on Pocket Watch. So this way we just don't draw more cards, but I guess it's fine. Peck goes back in the draw pile, and we like that. We'd rather draw the extra cards. Hello, Peck. Let's just do footwork, survivor, and defend. Only take 1. Alright, pretty clean fight. Explosive ampule. I don't think we're gonna need it for this fight. Is the colorless pot still better? I kind of think so, because I'm probably just going to focus damage on the kin. I don't know, I guess we have the speedster. Maybe it's best to gun them down one at a time. Probably grab the old prepared while we still have access. Haze is also fine, but... It's a pretty feels bad if you're playing it on a turn. Or like, you know, if you don't have anything that, where you get to play it with Sly. Or you draw it and you just don't happen to have those. It just kind of clogs up the deck. I think unless you've got like other support for it, it's not necessary. So I think I like prepared. You're pretty low on damage. I think the pot is okay for the next fight. Yeah, I mean, I think I like the colorless pot though, as a potential damage source as well. Because it's one that gets shuffled back in, right? We'll probably play the colorless pot. Leading strike is 20 damage for one. Yeah, but it's 20 damage assuming we've got this in play, which, you know, we might just not. So I think the best upgrade overall for the deck is going to be Footwork. The best one for this upcoming fight is Speedster. We're going to be going at the fight with full hit points. I kind of think we can focus damage on the kin in the back and probably be okay. Probably still play the colorless spot. But I'm leaning towards Footwork. Prepared is a nice upgrade. The game upgrade changed, right? It keeps exhaust. I don't remember. Oh, from Spire 1. Yeah, it gains retain. I thought you were talking about maybe in the beta patch. I'm gonna upgrade Footwork. It's a really good card. All right, this is a good turn for the colorless pot because we can just play 3 cards. I'm gonna play the bomb. I think that's actually better than Hidden Gem here. So we're already full blocking. So if we're gonna do 40 damage to all enemies, then we'll just focus down the followers. Yeah, Inspire 1, the calculated gamble upgrade is incredibly good. All right, so I think Speedster, calculated gamble, could expose the Kin Priest as well. We'll probably end up doing Footwork and then Prepared Untouchable. So actually maybe I don't need to bother doing the Expose yet. And let's weaken this guy. Got him in lethal range. We're good. This fight is already basically over. And play the bomb again? Why not? Why play just one bomb when you can play 2? Alright, let's expose. Calculated gamble to find our Peck. Hit him with the Peck. Got so many bombs ready to go off. Oh boy. Get the Vanta Blades out of our deck. Yeah. Didn't even really need to play the colorless pot, but we got pretty lucky with it being like a really good card. And he's dead. Echoing Slash, Nightmare, and Afterimage. Nightmaring a calculated gamble after Speedster is in play is pretty sweet. There's other random shenanigans you can do with Nightmare. If we happen to get the Apparitions event, or not event, but Act Reward, obviously Nightmare is good for that. I feel like Nightmare just has more potential than any of the others. Afterimage is good, but I think there's going to be plenty of like Pocket Watch turns that we alternate between playing tons of cards and then very few cards. Kind of the nature of Pocket Watch. May as well call it Pendulum when you're playing it with the Silent. And Echoing Slash is like fine, but I kind of don't get the point of this card, to be honest. Like I don't think it's terrible, but it's like a, you know, 10 damage AoE, which is nice, and maybe I'm just sort of missing the point. And I understand that it like finishes off an enemy and then finishes off the next enemy and then finishes off the next enemy if you can sort of get them at different damage levels. But how often does that really work in practice? I mean, maybe some of the time. I still think Nightmare's got more high-end upside. Oh, don't get me wrong. It's going to be a curse in most fights, but if it's a curse in most fights and then just lets you win the fight that's really hard, that's totally fine. Yeah, I guess the worm, the slash could be cool. For sure, for sure. The old Desicenta millipede. All right, let's see what our rewards are. You know what's really good is using Nightmare on a Wraith form, as an example. That is a Slay the Spire classic right there. That is a Slay the Spire classic. Is that how Echoing Slash works? Doesn't it also count enemies that have been killed in previous turns? I actually don't know. I don't know. I assumed it was during this card, but maybe it is. I literally don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I've ever taken it, so I don't know. All right, I think I like this shop here. And then we've got some choices. Forced elite fight, but I think it's at the end of the act, so probably fine. And then even if we lose a bunch of health, we are gonna have the pantograph before the boss. Time to find out. I'm gonna create a custom and pick the card. Yeah, please, and let me know. Let me know, Imogen. I do want to know the answer to that. Anyway, I think this is pretty obvious. We're gonna go with Wraith form. Like, we have a Nightmare. Like, we have a win con against... So as long as we've got hit points, we have a win con against every fight in the game. Basically. So we just need enough block to not take too much chip damage. Pantograph is going to help with that too, in healing us up before bosses. And then we just need sources of damage. Scaling damage actually is probably better. So some form of poison is usually what that means. Noxious fumes that we didn't take earlier, but that's okay. There's another kind of interesting route along the right side. Hits up a shop earlier. We do have lots of money, so it's like totally reasonable. And then I feel like maybe that gives us a bit more flexibility for choosing to fight elite fights or not. Couple more upgrades this way. Got some nice cards that we want to upgrade. Really like upgrading Prepared, like upgrading Speedster, like upgrading Leg Sweep, like upgrading Neutralize. Maybe I like the Right Path better. I think I do. Yeah, well, we're gonna take a. I mean, you need to get someone to find. Yeah, but that's fine. We'll get the retain power, right? I mean, we already know that we're looking for well-laid plans, and even if we don't find them to perfectly match up, that's okay, right? We can still play Wraith form. We can still do after, you know, Nightmare on something else. Like that, it's correct. I'm pretty confident in that. I'm pretty happy with what I got going on here. Speaking of happy with what I got going on. Ugh. Not very happy with this hand though. All right, probably just play the Wraith form. Oh, that's true. This is a great example of a fight that rewards multi-attacks. Absolutely. And I'm not going to play the Peck, actually, here. I'm going to play the play a defend. because we don't need to... Oh, never mind. I could have played the Peck. Whatever. It does. I mean, it doesn't matter. Didn't really think that through all the way, but it, again. We got Wraith Form active, so who cares? We can do whatever we want. Let's kill him this way. Anticipate was one of the cards that got nerfed in the most recent patch. I feel like my hot take is that my one patch hot take is that this card is good because of, at least partially, the old prepared, and that it maybe didn't need a nerf, but I could completely be wrong on that. So I'm gonna grab this Anticipate. I think it's a good card. All right. Oh, and this is one of the relics I remember seeing got a buff from healing 4 to 5. I don't know. Seems weird to me, but I accept it. So we have a Royal Stamp. We could give something innate and retain. So if we do that, not playing on the new patch, not yet. I want to do this random streak until it splats. And then I'm going to play the new patch. I just want to see how far I can push it. But I will be. So yeah, now we don't need well-laid plans at all. We can just put the Royal Stamp on Wraith Form. Honestly, the Royal Stamp on Wraith Form is really good. Making it innate is insane. Giving it retain is insane. Oh my god, that's right. I can't do that because it's the power. I'm an idiot. Still fine putting it... I've done this before where I've got royally approved thinking I can put it on a power. This is not the first time I've thought I could do that. Don't you think it's more relevant on Nightmare? No. No. I would absolutely 100% never in this planet not put it on Wraith Form. I would absolutely put it on Wraith Form. That way I can play it on turn 1 for the fights where you don't need to Nightmare it. Nightmaring Wraith Form is like a rare need. Alright, let's remove a strike. Okay, so... do I play more than 3 cards? Playing Wraith Form on turn 1 is never going to feel clunky. I would be happy to do it in every single hallway fight from now till the end of the run. Thinking about maybe just doing Expose, Footwork, Untouchable, and playing only 3 cards. Here for Pocket Watch. Yeah, we would just pick up more damage, Rufin. I mean, I'm like... I feel like you're overcomplicating it a little bit, maybe. Alright, let's play the Peck, calculate a gamble to get Speedster. We'll draw extra cards with the Pocket Watch. Ready to peck him down again. Plop, 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 plop. Okay. So now... strike, defend, survivor. But yes, absolutely, this is another fight that rewards multi-attacks. Oh, come on. So let's do... we have to kill him. I'm not going to let that calculated gamble go. Okay. Give me that back. Oh, hey, and we still get the lucky fish from it. That's kind of sweet. Could grab another expose. I don't think we need more than one expose, though I don't think it's terrible. Could also grab a blade dance. If anything, I kind of feel like with Phantom Blades, I'd rather have... Well, maybe not Blade Dance. Maybe Blade Dance is fine. But I'm thinking about combats where we Nightmare the Wraith form. Maybe we just kind of try to get more acrobatics and just play Peck a bunch. Feel really bad about this Phantom Blades. Maybe just should have skipped. I just felt like I was early enough in Act 1 I should just take cards, but I probably should have just skipped. Blade Dance is like still okay. What does it upgrade to? I was gonna say what gives Shivs plus? I don't even know because I've mostly ignored Shivs because they're honestly just not that good. Like what gives Shiv plus? Hidden Daggers will. This I think becomes a lot more reasonable because these Shivs actually attack for 9. And the discard here will let us proc Sly. Yeah, Storm of Steel as well. Storm of Steel actually could be okay. But I think Hidden Daggers, we would grab one of those. That'd be fine. So I think I'm going to skip. I don't think I want another expose either. Whenever you play a power, deal 8 damage to all enemies. We really like playing footwork. Decay isn't so bad. May have an opportunity to get rid of it. I'm gonna do it. I think it's okay. I like the AoE. So now let's upgrade Leg Sweep or Speedster. Could upgrade Nightmare and conceivably on a different turn play play the Nightmare on, for example, Calculated Gamble, and if we have Speedster in play, just like cycle through the deck, cycle through the deck, cycle through the deck, cycle through the deck, and then just do a bunch of damage that way. Psycho Ling, hello, hello. Upgrading Speedster also pretty okay. I think the deck likes that. Upgrading Leg Sweep always good. I'm gonna upgrade Speedster. We got another upgrade coming up too. All right, let's just Nightmare the Wraith form here. So then we'll basically take like 3 damage each round of combat. I don't know, maybe I Nightmare the Calculated Gamble like I described earlier. Nah. I'm no fool. And I guess I should have played the Neutralize first if I'm going to play it. So let's do that one. And we're only going to play 3 cards. Play the Expose. Alright, Speedster. Footwork Calculated Gamble. May as well block, right? Plop, 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 plop. Oh, shoot, that makes us play... Yeah, I forget that Sly actually is playing a card as well. Wraith Form. Unfortunately, the Decay is here, which sort of sucks. So let's get rid of Decay. This is kind of funny. And I'm going to leg sweep just to gain a tiny pittance of block. And play the Phantom Blades because it does 8 damage to him. And Decay will hit us again. Still a fairly clean fight. You've seen like 50-ish rare cards and not once the Echoing Strike. Maybe the game doesn't want you to see it. Is another leg sweep worth adding to the deck? I don't think it is. I don't think so. I think this is a skip. And I would like to upgrade again. But maybe if rest, then comfortable going this way and fighting 2 elites. None of these upgrades are that exciting. I almost think I'd rather have more random relics. Cloak Clasp. That's really nice with Intangible. Okay. Considering doing Nightmare on the Speedster. And we take a bunch of damage in this first round of combat. No, I probably just Speedster defend. Leave the Nightmare for the Wraith form. So maybe anticipate Survivor the Untouchable. Just need to make sure we draw our cards. There it is. Nightmare Wraith form. And I'm going to play the Prepared to get rid of this stinky Decay. Then we get one more card we can play. So may as well play it. So this is where we're gonna really benefit from having Cloak Clasp. Cloak Clasp. Plop, 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 plop. And I don't know that I even play the Neutralize. I don't think so. Full block. Heyo. Got him. All right, Wraith form, Calculated Gamble. We'll have to hit him with like Pecks and stuff eventually. I mean, don't have to, but we will eventually. But we can still do more damage with the Lost Wisp for a little while. We can just keep playing the Wraith forms as we see them. We're never going to block again. With a block card. The ship has already sailed, basically. Oh, we can play one leg sweep. Let's play the Phantom Blades. I guess we play the leg sweep and the Phantom Blades. Because it still actually does provide us some positive block. For now, it's not going to last long. You may not like it, but this is what peak silent gameplay looks like. All right, so we'll have the Peck there. Okay. Incredible, really. What a fight. This is an absolutely unhinged fight against Mr. B's. The B-man, the B-boy. Could take another footwork. Footwork, you know, we're happy to grab any power. Right? Since we have the Lost Wisp. Footwork's still pretty dang nice. Never seen him get to 3 dazes. Yeah, usually you want to end it before then, right? All right. Probably just calculate a gamble already. Get rid of this hand. Try to find something nicer. Could play the Anticipate first. On the assumption we're probably going to play more than 3 cards this turn anyway. The hell is this? So if I just play the leg sweep, is that full block? Oh no, the decay. The decay is here. Well, it's close. It would be if it weren't for that stinky decay. All right, Speedster, Footwork, and I guess Calculated Gamble will play the Untouchable, which will mess with Pocket Watch. So maybe just Speedster, Calc Gamble. Did play both Calculated Gambles. Might play more than 3 cards. Maybe I'll hit him with the Peck. No. So we can anticipate, leg sweep, survivor, neutralize, and block pretty well. We'll be able to kill the Bullbug next turn. Seems okay. Oh, maybe should have done that the other way around. Definitely should have. Well, no, that's not true. Maybe giving him 2 weaknesses is actually better. Plop. Plop. Alright, pretty close to full block. If you squint and don't think about it too much. And think of taking 6 damage as also having full block. Let's just expose. Oh, that could, I didn't know that mechanic. That makes sense. He becomes unburrowed when he loses all block. Exposed just gets rid of all block. Oh my god. I don't think I've seen that before. That's crazy. I mean, it makes complete sense. So I don't know why I'm surprised. I just hadn't tried that before. That's really nice. No, Tunneler, no. That's fine. We have the power of a Wraith. Plop. Probably skip. I like that Phantom Blades is still better than a strike without any shivs in your deck. It is, actually, that's true. That's true. It's true. It's very funny. I mean, we would like to get some sort of like scaling damage for poison. Snakebite's okay. I don't think I want to pick it though. A much maligned card. It's totally a fine, pickable, and good card. But I don't think we want it. Yeah, if it had a plus sign next to it, I think we'd take it. I think we have enough. I don't know. Do we have enough damage to deal with Knowledge Demon? I mean, I guess we kind of like have to Nightmare Wraith form. And even then, kind of need some scaling damage, even with the deck as is. Right, because once we play both Calc Gambles after Speedster, we kind of run out of gas. And the Peck is still good, but you know, it's only 20 damage every shuffle. That's not very much, and that's pretty much the only source of damage. Plunking him away 8 damage at a time with the powers doesn't quite do enough. Yeah, exactly. So we've got the Cloak Clasp, making Retain good. Retain also makes Calc Gamble draw more cards. A lot of reasons we like it. Just fine. I think I'm gonna take it, I guess. I think I've convinced myself. I might even upgrade the thing. Honestly. Because I think we want to play it against Knowledge Demon. Chunk him away for like 10, 20 HP per turn. What's that card that gives you a 1 shiv per turn? Can't even remember. The hell's it called? Infinite Blades. We would take an Infinite Blades. If you think about using it twice in about 3 turns, the differences between damage between 10 and 7 poisons is massive. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Right, because you need to accumulate sort of a baseline. And it still is nice scaling damage. I'm actually gonna take it. Or upgrade it rather. Okay. I'm gonna footwork. I'm considering nightmaring the footwork. Yeah, the random Phantom Blades. I mean, it's better than a strike, right? It's better than a strike. Yeah, I think I'm gonna nightmare the footwork here. So we can play 3 powers and kill the Paraphrite. And then full block with Cloak Clasp. Footwork is a damage card. Let's see. Could Speedster Prepared Survivor? Okay, so we could Wraith form here. Could also just like footwork, survivor. This is so stupid. This is such a funny deck. Honestly, I kind of love this. And so, all right, we'll have the Count Gamble next turn. So let's just do like leg sweep defend. So would you please, I'm telling the devs. Don't tell on Dad. Don't tell Dad. And maybe expose then Count Gamble, actually. Get rid of his block. Let's just play the Wraith for him. We're gonna kill him. We're gonna kill him. He's gonna die within the next 3 turns. Pecked him to death. Colorless pot instead of speed potion? I kind of think so. Does miniature cannon upgrade this number 2? Probably not, right? There's only one thing for certain. Either they are going to die or we are. True. I think if we didn't have a cloak clasp, or excuse me, didn't have a pocket watch, I'd consider the deflect. Like if this number goes up from the miniature cannon, right? If this goes to 8 additional damage for each card discarded this turn, then I think this is a good card to add to the deck. If it's not, then it's pretty bad. Not terrible, but like just kind of bad. That's like an easy 100 damage after a gamble. I mean, so 8 for each one discarded. So calculate a gamble, let's say it discards like 8 cards, which is not as many as possible, but pretty high actually. And 64 additional damage. It's quite a bit. And we could, of course, do something like Nightmare or Calculated Gamble, which is not unreasonable. I kind of want to just know the answer to the question, so we'll probably upgrade it. All right, so we can play 4 energy if we attack, so we could do like neutralize, speedster, leg sweep. Take just a little baby bit of damage. So let's just do footwork, survivor the decay. Oh, I don't know. Kind of want to only play 3 cards. Kind of want to just get to Nightmare the Wraith form. Yeah, so let's do this, that, that. Excellent. So let's Nightmare the Wraith form, play the Calculated Gamble to get the Untouchable. Yeah. And take some damage here, but then this will be the last time we take damage this fight. Plop. Can calculate a gamble to play this Wraith form if I want. Don't really need to though. Alright, so let's do a Footwork Snakebite. And what? Peck. Calculated Gamble, Memento Mori. I guess technically we could get unlucky and not find a Wraith form and get screwed that way. I guess we just make sure we can play one next turn, guaranteed. No need to create risk where it doesn't need to exist, right? So here we'll just Peck, Snakebite, neutralize. And we've only got one more turn of Intangible. Kind of want to get more Snakebite on him. We've just got a little bit, right? We got him with the Snakebite twice. Wow. What an absolutely, utterly unhinged, bizarre, whatever this is we've got going on. Kind of love it. Another Calculated Gamble. Oh yeah, Bowler Hat is one. I think that goes from 20 to 25% I saw from the patch notes. Also, Flick Flack got nerfed, which... just kind of strikes me as strange. It was like one of the weaker Sly cards, like one you'd almost like sometimes not take. I don't know. Let's grab a Calculated Gamble. Yeah, my boy Flick Flack. I know, right? What did Flick Flack ever do? All right, we're gonna see if this works. We're gonna find out. Sure doesn't look like it. Well, that's disappointing. So we're definitely gonna be nightmaring the Wraith form. I think that'll be necessary in this fight. So on this particular round of combat, there's really not that much to do. So I'll probably expose and play Footwork, so maybe I'll play a Colorless Pot. Or, ooh, I guess Omni Slice? Yeah, Catastrophe, hit Wraith form and be sad. Yeah, yeah. Actually, was that even... I should have done the Memento Mori. Alright, Disintegration. Hello, Wraith form. Wraith form, hello. Alright, so we need to play only 3 cards. So let's do... Still think like the Peck is quite a bit of damage, but maybe not. Maybe it's just neutralize and survivor and then defend. Oh, Wraith form. So let's see. Just leg sweep defend. There we are. On the same turn as Speedster though. Alright, so let's just get that done. Don't actually need to play it on this turn, maybe. Because we'll almost certainly have the Count Gamble next turn, so I think it's actually better to do like Snakebite. Phantom Blades. And I'm gonna keep the Count Gambles. Okay, so now I'm gonna do this calculated gamble. Want to find the Wraith form. Didn't find it. But it can at least play Speedster. We'll take some damage. Speedster defend I think is totally fine. Could have picked the right option there. You know, probably could have. Almost never do. So didn't even consider it. But I was thinking as soon as we have the Wraith forms in play, we don't need it. All right, I'm gonna use the Swift Pot. Holy, come on. Wraith forms are really shy here. Flap. Alright, so we'll need to find another Wraith form. And found one. I don't think I've even seen that option ever. I don't think I've ever gone that far. Alright, so we want to get a Snakebite on him. And we'll play Peck. And then we'll play Omni Slice. So I think these are the last two Wraith forms, yeah. Let's play this one. Going places no silent has ever been before? Yes. And I'm going to play the Snakebite before the shuffle. Should be able to get to the other Wraith form. Snakebite actually doing pretty well here. It's the last Wraith form. Do I have to play it? I'd kind of like to... I think we're okay though. I think actually... Okay, I'm okay. I think there's enough damage from the Snakebite, right? Yeah. There is, in fact. So is there another phase to this, or does it end here? Let's find Peck. Let's find out. Well, he's gonna die. I was just gonna say, like, is there another prompt? Minus 22 dexterity? The Hunt. Deal 10 damage. If fatal, gain an additional card reward. Also, Envenom? Also, tools of the trade. These are all good. I like all of these. Huh. Envenom makes the Peck poisonous, which feels thematic. Does this still upgrade the same? Wait, am I having Mandela effect? Inspire 1? Does this do the same thing, or does it go down to cost 1? Actually, I think it is the same thing. I think it is like this. It was cost 1? Okay. I don't think I like tools the most here, actually. I don't think so. I think I like Envenom better. Because I think once we've got the Nightmared Wraith forms, we just need to apply some poison. And then the deck is like solid. And I don't think the deck needs like consistency on the way through. We just need to draw the way through it. And it doesn't get us through that much faster. Like it would let us play more Sly cards, but we don't actually really have that many. Normally I'd go tools here, but I'm actually leaning towards Envenom. Just barely. Just barely. Technically, if you get the Sacrifice Relic, the hunt could represent like 2 relics. The Sacrifice Relic. We're talking about like Pale's Wing. I think that's only an Act 2 reward. Okay. These are not that exciting. The only one that's kind of cute is the Diamond Diadem, which I don't think I've ever taken. Whenever you play 2 or fewer cards in a turn, take half damage from enemies. Right, so there could be a turn where we just simply play Nightmare on Wraith form, and we're like, all right, we're gonna take a big hit here, and then we take a smaller hit. But then once we've got Wraith form in play, this doesn't do anything anymore. Any leg sweep turn as well? That's true. Also leg sweep turn. Also leg sweep turn. Brilliant Scarf I feel like is asking too much out of the deck. Yeah, I mean, it seems reasonable here. Brilliant Scarf, after the 5th card you play each turn is free. That's like cute. I think that could be kind of relevant with the calculated gambles and stuff like that, but I don't know. So do be careful, she looks horny for your pecker? She does. That's all right. Maybe the pecker is horny for her too. But she can't even see. But she maybe doesn't need to. All right, I think if there's any deck that's going to do the Diamond Diadem, I think this is it. And I think we want to route through here, go to a shop, maybe hit up a second shop. We definitely want to do some card removal. All right, so we Wraith form. Plop. And let's Nightmare the Calculated Gamble. Then we're gonna play Speedster and go crazy. Speedster, hello. Surely we'll draw one of our many calculated gambles here, right? That'd be so sad if we didn't. Almost didn't. Are you kidding me? What a fun way to kill the enemies. Okay. I guess I don't add another footwork. Footwork does do 8 damage. It is better than a strike. Probably don't, though. Which is very funny. It's just a skip. Alright, let's create a custom card. There is a power that lets you upgrade a card at the end of combat. Is one of the potential options here. It could also do the one where powers cost less. Which actually I think is probably pretty good. I think we want to make a power. I think Mad Science is okay, but I think I like Curious better. The power making powers cost less? Sure. What's the difference between skip and sacrifice? Would you do one or the other? Sacrifice is enabled by one of the... by Pale's Wing, one of the artifacts from the start of an act. And once you have Pale's Wing, I think you just always sacrifice instead of skip. I can't imagine why you would ever not want to sacrifice. All right, we're definitely not giving him Pantograph. We give him a Strength Potion. That's fine. A Venerable Tea Set. Fun. I think we like Anchor with the 3 question marks. Right, there's no reason why we wouldn't want that, right? Other than just don't need it. And Happy Flower with 3 question marks, also always fine. Maybe there's a specific relic that ruins your deck and you don't want to take a chance. Yeah, maybe you've got like a self-damaging Ironclad and you really can't risk getting a Tungsten Rod. I guess. Are there other scenarios? Not that I can think of. I don't know that I even grabbed the Anchor with 3 question marks. I didn't mean to sidetrack. No, it's a good question. You did a great sidetracking. I love the question. Can we even kill a 75 HP dummy? Like, actually? Nightmare the Snakebite? Or just Snakebite Footwork? Might actually not be able to do the 75 HP Battle Friend. Okay, Speedster's here. Okay, no, we can do it. All right, Distilled Chaos is good. Would never have been able to do the 150 damage one, which is pretty funny. Ugh. Hate these guys. There's a piece of me that kind of wants to just Distilled Chaos here. That wasn't it. Alright, I'm gonna calculate a gamble. Found Wraith form, but is it better to play the Speedster actually? Might be. I don't know, maybe not. Don't have the Calc Gamble anymore. Maybe play the Wraith form? Thinking about playing the Peck is the thing, because it's a lot of damage. So maybe Speedster Peck? I think you might do take a lot of damage this fight. Yeah, I think so too. I don't think we'll take that much more past this turn though. One footwork, then this. Then a leg sweep. Oof. Yeah, I think we want to get the pocket watch to roll. So play leg sweep. Okay, play the prepare. Maybe just Envenom and then stop. Pocket Watch and Diadem. We'll gain 6 block, but we'll only get hit for, I guess, 6 total is how that'll work, I suppose. These will all disappear. Maybe play the Defend then instead. We just let Envenom fall off. I think that's actually okay. Alright, so calculate a gamble and they're dead. At least dead enough that we can play the Wraith form. Totally fine. So let's Nightmare something maybe? Maybe not. Maybe it's just Snakebite, Memento Mori. Peck, prepare the untouchable. I guess Peck really doesn't do that much, huh? I guess the footwork does more damage. Like, actually? Just Nightmare the footwork. Still takes 0. Plop, plop, plop. Footwork is a damage card. Snecko Skull is here. Envenom looking like it'll make damage pop off pretty nicely. Ooh. I think the deck takes an untouchable. Or does it? Maybe it doesn't. I don't think it does. I think we skip. Snicko Skull's free upgrade for Envenom. It is. Festive Popper! Yeah, let's rest because I don't like sitting at 30 some HP. And let's go shopping! Upon pickup, enchant up to 3 cards with Adroit. Adroit gain 3 block. Alright, let's card remove this Decay. Get out of here, Decay. Hidden Daggers is here. I don't even think... I still think we still don't bother. Now that we've got Envenom. Like, who cares? We'll just peck our way to victory. That deck is massive. Remembering the tiny Denko deck yesterday for like 6 cards. Yeah, 9. 9 cards. This is, I would say, a more normal sized deck. This is more how I would like the game to be. Extra retain cards are kind of interesting. They do make the calculated gamble calculate more. Ricochet is some poison damage too. It is. I kind of feel like the Gambler's Brew is super good, and that might be one to hang on to all the way to the boss fight. Yeah, the Chowster's asking the real questions. I think this Gambler's Brew is like good on many different axes. So could just grab that and then go shopping again. Hang on to some money. All right, let's make the Nightmare cheaper. Or, I mean, I guess this is pretty all right too. I'm gonna go with making the Nightmare cheaper though. All right, so let's Nightmare or Leg Sweep or Footwork. Footwork, Leg Sweep, or just many options under the rainbow. We just need, let's be real, we just need to get to Wraith Form. Salvo was kind of interesting for the retain. What is Salvo? Salvo? The hell was Salvo? Oh yeah. Nah. Do you have a relic for healing, or are you resting every now and then? Nah, nothing. Well, we've got the Pantograph. So yeah, we've got the best healing relic in the game. All right. I'm wondering if I need to get the Envenom in play. So I'm kind of thinking about doing like Envenom, Leg Sweep, letting the Diadem take place. I think that's going to be the play. All right. Mad Science, Speedster, Peck, or let's prepare and see what we draw. Okay. Still gonna leave it at 3. I guess he's gonna put the 4 cards on there. Yeah. There it is. Easy. When in doubt, just oh, those still do full damage. When in doubt, Wraith it out. Alright, so let's do this one, this one, this one. play the Calc Gamble. Excellent. Wanted to find another one of those. But yeah, I agree. The pillow may be better than Pantograph in this game. I could see that. Alright, still need to get more poison on him. Speaking of... Blap. Alright, I guess we're good now. What a fun, absolutely bizarre deck. Absolutely bizarre. Acro is here. We like Acro. We like acrobatics. First acrobatics we've seen. All right. Card remove, noxious fumes. Probably. What does this do upgraded? Okay. But yeah, probably just card remove, noxious fumes. Is Singing Bowl even in this game? I don't think it is it? I don't think I've seen it, if it is. Love me a Singing Bowl. But yeah, I think Noxious Fumes. And I kind of like the Clarity Extract. So I think I'm going to leave the potions as is. I mean, the other bowl? Oh, Ripple Basin? Yeah, Ripple Basin's kind of nice. I agree. Not as good as the Carter move, but I like Ripple Basin quite a bit. All right, so we're going to heal to full with the Pantograph. I honestly am kind of thinking about just doing this Mad Science, making it an 8. Or would I rather upgrade the Envenom? Honestly, this is pretty good, isn't it? With this deck, I really like this. I guess it doesn't, it probably can be played sometime during the first shuffle and it's fine. Could even consider upgrading Acro. I'm gonna go with Envenom though. I'm not convinced that was right, but I think there were a bunch of reasonable options. Well, speaking of reasonable options. All right, so we Nightmare the Wraith form, and that's the game. Got him. Probably need to play the Envenom though. The jump from 2 to 3 is better than 1 to 2 for poison, I think. Explain yourself. So if I play the Envenom, we will actually do pretty good block. Not quite full block, but close enough that I think that's the last damage we take. Let's play the Mad Science. We'll do the Peck back here on the Queen. And then probably the Snakebite back on the queen as well. Alright, might play Calculated Gamble. Do want to make sure we get a shuffle in. And I'm thinking about playing the Noxious Fumes, but we may have something else we want to play instead. I'd rather play the Noxious Fumes. But need to play one of the Wraith forms. Yeah, I know we had 2 Calc Gambles, but I was thinking, well, that's fine. Alright, so let's Snakebite back here. Play both footworks. And pass the turn. One poison is 1 damage, 2 poison is 3 damage, and 3 poison is 6 damage. I suppose, I kind of see what you're saying, though I think that's kind of a weird way to think about it. Poison is so interesting as a source of damage because you have to almost like have a target end turn in mind, like number of turns to consider for poison before you can properly calculate how much you're actually getting out of it. So it's never quite as simple as just like, oh, take the total number of poison applied and then, you know, do your, I don't know, whatever the name of that formula is called. But it's also not quite so simple as just saying like, oh, you know, you only do 1 extra point of damage from going 2 to 3. Like it's more, but also less. It's an interesting problem, actually. All right, so I'm gonna go Wraith form, Phantom Blades to get it out of the deck, then we Peck here. Because we need to start getting more damage, poison damage on that boy. And I want to get that Speedster in play. Squigs, hello, hello. So let's expose Noxious Fumes. And I might Acro here. Or maybe Wraith form Calculated Gamble and play the Memento Mori. Or, honestly, maybe Calculated Gamble, Memento Mori, Peck. I think we got enough turns left. And that's a lot of damage. Yeah, that was definitely correct. If I'd spent a little time thinking about it, could have got there. But why think? Thinking sucks. Didn't quite find our Snakebite. But I guess this just does not quite end the fight. I guess I took 1 point of damage that I didn't need to. It's 1 short. Well, don't I feel foolish? So took 1 unnecessary point of damage. Test subject C77. All right, Mad Science and Speedster seem pretty good to me. Get lethal with the Calc Gamble too? Yeah, it's best not to think about these things. Yeah, we healed the 25 on each boss. Yeah, this relic is super good. So might just do Mad Science Speedster, end turn. Definitely playing that one. Realistically, I think this fight is pretty much over. We're gonna let the diadem take place. But alright, let's envenom. And then Peck. And leg sweep. There she is. There's my beautiful little wraith form. And probably have lethal this turn. And by probably, I mean do. May as well play the expose, because I actually kind of want that out of the deck. Wow. Okay. Wraith form. Footwork. Peck. Peck carried this run. What a fun journey this particular Spire Slay was. What a fun deck. What a fun deck. Peck needs a nerf? Boy, we find one situation where Peck is finally good, and the pitchforks come out asking for nerfs? This is why we can't have nice things. Very nice MTG control deck vibes. Control deck. Magic the Gathering. But I know what you're saying, and I kind of agree. Basically, I'm allowed to have fun, and my opponent is not. Right? We just say no. We have a just say no deck. Just say no to the enemy. Make them a sad wizard. It's my favorite Magic the Gathering art. Hold on. My very favorite Magic the Gathering art. This is important. Yeah, hold on. It is this card right here. I absolutely love the Sad Wizard. Absolutely love Sad Wizard. Sad Wizard is my favorite. He looks broken? Right. He's a broken sad wizard. All right. Nice run. Streak goes up to 4. How far can this be pushed? We shall see. Annoying wretch, be gone! The Architect is mean. Yeah, that was fun. I don't know. That deck came together in a way that was unlike any of the silent runs that I've done so far. I actually don't know that I've had the opportunity to take Wraith form yet. I'm sure I have. All right, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, and then we're gonna do another. All right, be back in just a moment. Okay, I'm back. Okay, how is Snakebite not garbage? All right, let's talk about how Snakebite is not garbage. So, we'll take this run as a specific example, and then I'm gonna elaborate all the other ways that Snakebite is not garbage. This card is fine. It is maligned, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I'm going to also say that here's when I knew that I had to just stop going to the Slay the Spire subreddit entirely, which I knew wouldn't last long anyway. But there were people going crazy about not even if, but how this card needed to be nerfed because it was too strong. Almost like it's a foregone conclusion. I don't even think this card's very good. I think Snakebite is a better card than Knife Trap. Unironically, completely serious. This card sucks. But here's the deal. Let's just look at this run as an example. Snakebite. Retain, apply poison 10. Unupgraded to 7. So, let's just look at how much damage is 7 poison compared to other damage commons, right? If you look at it like damage per mana, you know, you get your 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. Now, as I mentioned with apples and fruits earlier, it's not quite that simple. You can't say it's going to do that much damage because it depends on how long the combat's going to go from the time you apply the poison, right? But the damage, even if let's say it is, let's say it's only 2 turns. Let's say it's only 2 turns. 13 damage for 2 mana isn't terrible for a common. Even just 2 turns. That's not unreasonable. Right, through block. Yeah, through block. The fact that it has retain is awesome early on. One of the ways that you can get screwed in the little fights against like the little, I don't know the names of the enemies yet. Wish I could open up the bestiary. But a lot of the early fights, the enemies alternate between blocking and buffing and then attacking. Blocking and buffing, then attacking, like the Nibbit. Snakebite smooths out your deck. You might draw all of your strikes on the turn when he's attacking, and then you're going to draw all of your defends on the turn when he's blocking. With Snakebite, you can at least still play those attacks, still play those strikes on the turn when he's attacking, and then apply a really nice, lasting damage effect on the enemy on the turn when he's blocking because it has retain. Retain is great. It smooths out what your deck can do, and thus it lets you take more lower variance, like risk tolerance. In this particular run, we had a cloak clasp, so having a card with retain was just 1 passive block every single turn. And we had so much defensive stuff going on in this particular situation, just because of Wraith form, that all we needed was just some poison we could apply. So in that case, it was perfect. It was long-term good damage over the course of the entire poison's lifespan. This card did so much for this deck, actually. It was an important part of defeating the Knowledge Demon, and realistically, later on, it was kind of less relevant as we found, once we found Envenom, right? But I think Snakebite is well designed, a strong card, and interesting. I don't know. It's a common, right? So you shouldn't expect it to be, like, I'm not going to pick it over something better, right? Like, but for a common card, it's maybe better than the average common card. I'll go so far as to say. Right? And yeah, as Apples and Fruit says, it doesn't go back into your draw pile. You can control that, right? So in the fight against the Knowledge Demon, there were times I'm like, I'm about to shuffle. Let's play the Snakebite. But in a parallel universe where I found some other form of damage where I didn't need Snakebite, I could say, I'm about to shuffle. Let's not play Snakebite. Keep it in the hand.